Andy Cole didn't mince his words when he witnessed Antony's dreadful performance in the match where Manchester United suffered a humiliating defeat against Newcastle in the Carabao Cup. He said, "I'd go crazy if I had to play alongside Antony. He's left-footed and extremely selfish." If you're a forward looking to make runs into the near post for a shot, you'll never receive a pass from Antony. To put it simply, Antony doesn't score enough goals and doesn't create enough opportunities for his Man United teammates, despite the hefty price they paid for him. So, what do they get in return? Antony, for the first time this season, played a full 90 minutes, but the faith that coach Erik ten Hag had in this 2000-born winger seemed to be running thin. Antony continued his lackluster performance, with no shots on target, and failing to get past his defender 4 out of 5 times. Even his 4 crosses were off target. To add to his struggles, Antony lost 8 out of 12 contested duels. Manchester United lost 0, 3 to Newcastle, and Antony seemed to lose to himself with his underwhelming display. Ten Hag stuck with the former Ajax player for the entire 90 minutes. It's clear that Antony falls short of being a regular starter. Despite playing 10 times this season, he hasn't scored or provided an assist yet. The scandal involving his ex-girlfriend also casts a shadow on this Brazilian player. But fundamentally, Antony is far from meeting the expectations of Man United, who invested nearly £85 million in him. The term transfer disaster can aptly describe Manchester United's transfer dealings since Sir Alex Ferguson's departure. Players like Di Maria, Depay, and Alexis Sanchez did not justify the hefty sums the Red Devils shelled out. Jadon Sancho seems to be heading down the same path after his £72 million transfer in 2021. Antony's arrival from Sao Paulo to Ajax in July 2020 for £13 million and 2 years under Ten Hag has not yielded the desired results. Last summer, it was Ten Hag who brought Antony to Manchester. For Ajax, they reaped massive profits from Antony, ranking 19th in goals, 7th in assists, and 21st in chances created in the Dutch Eredivisie for the 2020 to 2021 and 2021 to 2022 seasons. Spending £85 million on a player like him hardly makes sense, with no reasonable explanation. Antony started brightly, becoming the first player to score in his first 3 Premier League matches for Manchester United. However, his limitations soon became evident. The 23-year-old ended his first season at Old Trafford with only 8 goals. This season, he is yet to score or provide an assist after 10 appearances, and it's been over a year since he joined Man United, yet his style of play has shown no improvement. It's clear that Antony possesses skill with his left foot, but it's not guided by tactical. Even former Manchester United midfielder Paul Scholes once referred to Antony as a clown after witnessing his ineffective ball rotation during a Europa League match. Manchester United desperately needs a winger who can apply pressure in attack and deliver the ball into the box for striker Rasmus Højlund. However, Antony certainly doesn't fit that profile. He will try to outmaneuver opponents with complex techniques, and while he may occasionally succeed by then, the opposition defenders have often returned to their positions. This results in a lack of pace in Manchester United's offensive plays. It seems that Antony's primary concern is showcasing his skills on the pitch, without regard for how it affects the team's overall gameplay. His playing style is predictable. When he receives the ball, everyone knows he will cut inside. Defenders can quickly neutralize Antony since he lacks the speed to dribble along the wing, and his weak right foot makes it challenging for him to provide a suitable response. Manchester United fans often find his displays frustrating, as he tends to make puzzling decisions on the field. Coach Erik ten Hag aims for quick ball circulation to create sharp counterattacks, but Antony doesn't seem to align with that strategy. The player brought in by Ten Hag could potentially disrupt the team's dynamics. Antony was relegated to the bench in the Manchester Derby, where he appeared disappointed and shook his head when Ten Hag made substitutions. He only came on in the 86th minute when Man United was already trailing 3-0. However, Antony appeared to be unfocused during the match. He even displayed unbecoming behavior after a collision with Doku from Man City. This isn't the first time Antony has shown excessive reactions, as his hot-headed nature was previously brought to light when his ex-girlfriend Gabrielle Cavallin accused him of assaulting her while she was pregnant. Antony and Cavallin made conflicting statements in the media, creating turbulence in the Manchester United dressing room. It remains to be seen if Antony will face consequences for his behavior, but the overall story appears to be more negative. Coach Ten Hag deserves much of the criticism for signing Antony. However, Manchester United needs to know when to halt their spending spree, as Ajax continued to raise their asking price during negotiations. Antony possesses technical prowess, but struggles to maximize it effectively. Perhaps the reason Antony still receives Ten Hag's favor is his commitment to defensive support, which partly enabled Ten Hag's high-pressing tactics last season. Yet, at £85 million, Antony needs to be a match winner, either by scoring or creating goals. When Manchester United requires a game-changer, Antony consistently disappoints. The former Ajax player is now receiving criticism from professionals and fans alike. It raises questions about whether Ten Hag made the right choice in reuniting with his former protege. Ten Hag himself has given an early answer, saying, "It partly comes from the collective and poor team play when we don't supply Antony with the ball. I take responsibility for that." But clearly, there's a lot of noise both on and off the pitch, which has affected his performance. Antony can do better, but that's true for all players. He's a fighter, confident and brave, and I believe he'll prove he's suitable for us. Erik Ten Hag may still place a lot of trust in his former protege, but the Dutch coach should remember that if his trust is misplaced, he might be the first to leave the theater of dreams. With his current situation seemingly not much better than Antony's, Ten Hag needs to secure maximum points in the next 3 Premier League matches to keep his seat. At Fulham, his recent hard-earned 3 points came through Bruno's late goal against a resilient Fulham, and it may not be convincing enough. Everton has recently won 3 consecutive matches against tough opponents, including West Ham and Brighton, as well as a Premier League newcomer, Luton Town. While lacking experience, they have shown themselves against Liverpool, making them a formidable opponent. Both teams may play deep defense to frustrate Manchester United, as they have done to others. But before these 2 Premier League matches, they face Copenhagen in a pivotal game to determine United's fate in this year's Champions League group stage. Copenhagen is unpredictable, playing at home, and surely aiming to secure points against MU. The matches against Copenhagen, Everton, and Luton Town are undoubtedly tough, and United will need creative players like Fernandes and Rashford to create chances for the main striker, Højlund. If Antony plays, Manchester United could face immediate problems, as he lacks creativity, speed, and fundamental tactical understanding to make a significant impact in a major league like the Premier League. The Glazer family is preparing to sell part of their shares to the potential new owner, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, who aims to gain control of Manchester United and gradually buy the entire club in the coming years. Besides re-evaluating United's scouting process, they also need to remove players who no longer fit in the squad, starting with Antony. Many clubs are interested in acquiring the Brazilian forward, considering him a promising young talent. United might have to consider a loan deal with a buyback option. Selling Antony now might result in a significant financial loss, as his contract runs until 2027. Nevertheless, with waning expectations, Manchester United's best solution might be to cut their losses with Antony, recouping at least half of the £85 million they spent on the 23-year-old Brazilian. Despite his potential, he needs to show more to justify the investment, as Manchester United requires a game-changing player. Thank you for taking the time. Please give us a subscribe, like, and share to don't miss any moment.